Bitcoin topped 10,000 and then touches 11,000 for the first time. So what's behind the gold rush? And from your point of view, what could be the next for Bitcoin?
It's interesting because over the last hour or so, Bitcoin has had a massive retracement and sold off below 10,000. So you're talking about the volatility of something that not everyone can understand fully. It was a bit of a phenomenon, and that's why you saw that incredible rally, from 9,000 to 11,000 in just a day. So people were excited about it. They were excited about the opportunity to get involved. There were people talking about 40,000 in the next near term. So anytime you see maybe a possible 4x hit, a win as far as investing goes, people are excited. But you see how quickly these evaporate, and certain stories like this can move a stock dramatically, or a currency, as you would here. And the more you understand, the more it may not have that kind of move that we've already seen. You're already talking about an enormous return this year. Now we're starting to talk about other exchanges listing products, such as futures. When the futures market gets involved, hedging becomes involved. It's easier to short it. Very hard to short Bitcoin right now, and that's why you see these monumental moves. Without that short side interest, buyers have a hard time buying it. They must pay higher. So when you get, you should see a diminishment of volatility as the futures market becomes established. It's done by a regulated exchange, which is important because right now it's unregulated.
Because Nasdaq today just announced that they will let investors to badge the Bitcoin's rise and fall, and also early this month, the CME groups just said that they would provide the future contracts on Bitcoin as well. So what's your view on their actions?
Well, based on it, all of it is based on consumer demand, and if there's enough people that want to do it, institutions right now would be way more inclined to putting less money up on margin to buy a future. As I said, you have to put less money up. There's less volatility. There's less risk, but there's also more opportunity for them to play the other side. Currently, can only play the long side. That's tough for a market. It gets overextended. It gets overextended quickly. There's too much risk on the short side. So you want to have that. That's an important part of the market. It's a fundamentally important part. And that's why you saw this reversal today. It's getting to feel a little bit toppy. When a market goes straight up for so many days without anything impeding the way, it gets, you get a little nervous.
Yeah, also under the pressure of Bitcoins as well as the inflationary pressure. So what's your view on the possible short-term moves of gold market?
It's interesting. Gold has yet to break through 1,300 with any substance. It's touched it a few times. It's broken through and faded back off. Gold's selling off a little bit today based on some of the economic growth ideas that was presented by Chairwoman Yellen on her way out. Fed Chair to be Powell yesterday. They're very positive on the economy and what they're expecting going forward, not only in the fourth quarter, but 2018. So gold's been under a little bit of pressure, and Bitcoin has certainly taken away some of the luster from gold. That's allocations that people have always had on an alternative. When now gold has really done nothing, Bitcoin's had this monumental move. Where's the alternative investment? Bitcoin right now. So gold may catch a little bit of a bid to it if Bitcoin continues to falter as the reversal that we saw today.
Yeah, and also most investors kept their eyes on the oil market, and as the oil price is rallying above $60, Russia has questioned the wisdom of extending the existing cuts. So what do you think for the OPEC meeting is very close, it's on Thursday. So do you think if they hold this deal this time, so what's your prediction on the market reaction?
I think the market's priced in that they are going to continue to hold that deal, and whether that occurs or not is what the market's going to do after the fact. The question isn't what they say, it's do they actually continue to maintain those quota cuts. There's some big cuts that some of the countries, Russia for example, Saudi Arabia for example, that have been sucking up most of that quota cut. Do they want to get more involved at $60 as opposed to $40? Absolutely, especially if Saudi Arabia is going to market with their IPO. They're going to want to balance their books here. I mean, this is an enormous opportunity to fill an excess amount of demand that's supposedly out there. Supply side has been cut in half. That's a positive, but that's already built into the market, I think. You know how I feel about oil. I was surprised that it took off through 50. Is it sustainable as Brent's up at 60? I don't think OPEC will be the reason why we see another rally.